Okay. Bismillah. Today our topic is monopoly and price discrimination. Usually whenever we find a single seller in the market and he is the price setter, he is controlling the whole market. 100% of market share is captured by a single firm. Clear? So he has the option as well to discriminate among the consumers. Discrimination means now he has the ability to charge different prices from different consumers in different time periods maybe or in different situations. So price discrimination means to have different pricing strategy for the consumers according to their affordability or to the quantity purchased or to the time period as well. There are three main degrees of price discrimination. Discrimination means to charge different prices from different consumers. So there are three degrees of price discrimination. First is called first degree price discrimination. What do we mean by first degree price discrimination? This is PD, means price discrimination. What is first degree price discrimination? When seller or monopolist, he is charging the prices from the consumers according to their affordability to pay. Like from rich people, those who are having more affordability to pay, the monopolist is charging a higher price. And from the producers, from the consumers who are not having too much affordability to pay, then the monopolist will be charging a lower price from those consumers. Clear? So the first degree price discrimination is based upon affordability of the consumers to pay. When rich people are more buying from the same monopolist, so monopolist is going to set a higher price for those. For example, I can show you the price discrimination and monopoly. The first degree price discrimination. Look here. This is the demand curve of monopolist, and this is what the marginal revenue, and this is what the marginal cost of producers. Where he is going to produce? He is producing this level of equilibrium. And now, if he is not discriminating, he is setting this price. Maybe I am taking the price as 50 rupees for each unit. Clear? And if I draw the average cost, what is happening in this case? Average cost is lying above the average revenue, so this monopolist is apparently having a loss. This average cost is more than average revenue. How much loss is there? You can find over here. This is the average cost, maybe 55 rupees per unit. This is what? Average total cost. This is average revenue. Clear? If he is producing 3 units, for example, so how much is the total revenue of this monopolist? Total revenue can be found by multiplying price into quantity. So price is 50 into 3, that is 150 rupees. That is the total revenue of this monopolist. And what is the total cost over here? Can we find the total cost? Average cost multiplied by quantity. So average cost is 55 into 3. How much is the average cost? Total cost is the 165. What is the profit level of monopolist in this case? It is bearing a loss. How it is in loss? Profit is total revenue minus total cost. Revenue is 150, whereas cost is 165. How much loss it is bearing? Minus 15 from these 3 units. Now see, the monopolist is looking at this loss when he sells at price 50 to all the 3 consumers. There are 3 buyers and he is selling each one at price 50 rupees, where this price is lower than the average cost of the monopolist. Now he starts now the price discrimination. He has to sell 3 units from the first buyer. He charges a price equal to 70 rupees. How much is the price from the first buyer? And from the second buyer, what happens? He charges a price 60 rupees. And from the third buyer, he charges a price 50 rupees. Now, he is selling these 3 units to 3 separate buyers. And according to their affordability to pay, the first buyer was having more affordability to pay, then he has set a price of 70 rupees from that buyer. And from the second he is getting 60. And from the third one, who is a lower income person, he is charging a price of 50. How much is total revenue now? 180. Follow my point or not? Previously, when he was having a price of 50 and he was not discriminating among the consumers, he was making a loss. Now, the cost of production is again same. Cost hasn't changed. His total revenue is now 180 minus 165. Now, the same firm is having a profit. Although its marginal cost is high, by adopting price discrimination, first degree price discrimination means now he is setting price for all the consumers according to their affordability. So he is able to have more revenue than cost. The same firm which was having a loss, now it is converted into a profitable firm due to price discrimination. Follow my point or not? But this is what monopolist is doing in the market. He is setting different prices for different consumers according to their affordability. This is called first degree price discrimination. Now, what is second degree price discrimination? What is second degree price discrimination? What is second degree price discrimination? Second degree price discrimination. What is that? If you go to the monopolist and ask him what is the price of this chair, he is the single seller of chairs in the market, these student chairs. So he will ask you how much quantity of chairs you are going to buy. Keep it in mind, previously we were talking about affordability of consumer. Now the seller is discriminating the buyers according to the quantity purchased. If the buyer is buying more quantity, like you are going to order for 50 chairs, 100 chairs, he will decrease the price. समझ में आ रहा है? When you buy a single chair, he asks you to pay 3,000 rupees for this single chair. And when you inform the seller that you are having a target of buying 100 chairs right now, so he will decrease price for each chair at rupees 2,000 or even more than that. And if you further increase the quantity, he will further decrease the price. This is the second degree price discrimination, where seller is discriminating the consumer according to the quantity purchased. ये कौन सी है? According to उसके ऊपर लिखना according to quantity purchased. The first one was according to affordability, quantity purchased. From a buyer who is having less quantity to buy, the monopolist is charging a higher price. And when a buyer is having to increase the number of units purchased, then the monopolist will be charging a lower price. So in this case, how is he discriminating among the buyers? A person who is buying less, he has to pay more price. And who is buying more quantity, he is going to be charged less price. So this is called what? Second degree price discrimination, in which the monopolist is discriminating the buyers according to the quantity purchased. Clear or not? This is called, there is no diagram of this thing because this is on the basis of quantity purchase. Now what is the third degree price discrimination? What is third degree price discrimination? Do you have any idea about this thing? Third degree price discrimination. This is according to time period. According to, do you know how he is discriminating among the consumer according to time? During the peak time, demand becomes inelastic. When you are going to travel by an airline and you want to get your airline ticket booked right now at the present time, after a week you are going to move to other country. So now the time period is the peak one, you have to go for any cost. So what airline is doing? They are charging a higher price as you are going closer to closer the airline date. Clear? And if you are booking your airline 3 months earlier, what they do? They charge you less. During the peak time, demand becomes inelastic. अब सुबह आ रहे हैं स्कूल, अगर आप किसी क्लिनिक वाले को रक्षा देते ना रुक जाओ, what does he say? But this is the school time, this is the peak time, and if you are going at that peak time to your school by using a public transport, individual public transport or privately you are hiring the same one, so he will charge a higher price at the peak time. Clear? So during the peak time, what is happening? Monopolist is charging a higher price to maximize his total revenue. And what happens during the off-peak time? Off-peak time. And we know what happens. Demand will become elastic. Now if you are booking the airline tickets 3 months earlier, Emirates Airline will give you a discount because you are paying cash right now and you will travel after the 3 months. Clear? So at that time demand will become elastic. When all schools are open and now students are present inside the school, after 8 o'clock, what happens to the rickshaw drivers? They have plenty of supply outside the school and now they will decrease the price, the fare charges. Because this is the off time, off-peak time, now they don't have enough customers to travel by, so they have to reduce the price in order to attract more and more passengers or commuters. So we see this thing, during off-peak time the price will be lower, and during peak time what happens? They are going to have higher prices. During daytime, do you have any telecom packages for your daytime? They are going to have a higher price because there are so many customers which are going to use the cellular phones during daytime. But off-peak time is what? During night the companies are offering different packages which will attract more buyers during the night. Clear or not? Even you go to the KFC, after I think so midnight they have a different deal. The same deal which is having higher price during the peak time. After midnight they are going to reduce the price by half in order to attract more and more customers at that time. Clear? So the consumer is discriminated by the seller during the peak time and off-peak time. Those who are having the bookings or they are buying during off-peak time, they have to pay less price, whereas those who are buying at peak time, they have to pay more prices to the monopolist. So there are 3 types of price discriminations. One is called what? According to income, the seller is selling the products to the different people according to their affordability, and he is charging different prices from each buyer. And second one is according to the quantity purchased. If buyer is having more quantity to be purchased, the seller has to decrease the price, and if he is going to buy less quantity, he has to pay more price. And third one is according to time period. During peak time, the monopolist or seller is going to charge a higher price, and during off-peak time the prices charged will be lower than before. Okay, so is it clear the discrimination? Now the one thing which is left over in this monopoly market structure, that is what is called natural monopoly. What is natural monopoly? Do you have any idea about natural monopoly? No idea?
नेचर में उसका तो मोनोपोली के अलावा कुछ होना
नहीं. Natural monopoly. If a firm has high fixed cost of production, like dams, it takes many years to have a construction of a dam. So what happens in that case? Here we find the total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. If fixed cost is having more proportion of this project, how much it is? 90% of total cost is comprised of fixed cost of production. For 10 years or more than that, the government has to pay for the construction of that. So high fixed cost is incurred, whereas operating cost is very, very negligible. So what happens in this case? If this firm is producing more output, what will be the shape of its long run average cost? Do you remember long run average cost? I gave you the idea. Long run average cost is having this shape. Economies of scale. And what is the short run average cost, if you remember? It is like this. Clear? So when we, and what is the shape of average fixed cost? This is average fixed cost. And average variable cost is having the same shape, but it is below the average total cost. So when fixed cost is more proportion of total cost, so average cost will be continuously falling. Average total cost in long run. During the early periods of a dam, the per unit cost of electricity was high. But now if they are producing more and more electricity, their per unit cost of production will further decrease. Now when average cost is decreasing, marginal cost is lying below the average cost. So what is the shape of marginal cost now? This is the shape of marginal cost, which is lying below the average cost, and it is not going to have any sequence where it is going to touch the average cost. Clear? Now this is the demand of electricity, you can see. According to profit maximization, this is the marginal revenue. This firm should produce here and it should set this high price. But natural monopoly is beneficial to the whole country, to the people of the country, because it has been used for the welfare of people. Now see, it is controlled and managed by the government. So if it charges this price, what is this price? Price is equal to marginal cost. Instead of producing this quantity, it increases the quantity produced. At which price it is charging? Equal to marginal cost. And it is going to achieve what? Allocated efficiency. Clear? Now see, at this level of output, its average cost is lying above its average revenue. So it is making a loss again. So the natural monopolist is setting this marginal cost pricing. How this loss will be covered by the firm? By having the fixed charges from the buyers. आप बिजली ले रहे हैं तो कह रहे जी this is the fixed line rent which everyone has to pay. So that will cover the loss of the monopolist. But they are having this lower prices to be charged from the customer. Even from the industrial users, they have decreased the price rates of electricity because the prices are lower for production of the goods. They will become more competitive, and they will have more competitiveness in international market as well. So in case of what is the definition of natural monopoly? When a firm is having having pricing equal to marginal cost of production, and if it is making a loss at that marginal cost pricing, that will be covered by a fixed charges by the firm. A natural monopoly, it is a natural monopoly is that firm which has more proportion of fixed cost in total cost. Its long run average cost will continuously fall when more output is produced. ठीक है? So ये क्या है? This is a natural monopoly due to high fixed cost of production. So its long run average cost will continuously fall as more and more output is produced. So that is about monopoly. This is beneficial. It can compete the foreign firms. It can use its profit for research and development. Clear? So monopolies are also having the benefits to the society. It is not the case that always the monopoly is going to discriminate the consumers and it is going to earn exorbitant profit or supernormal profit, but it can benefit the society as well. Clear? That's all for today.